Okay, I'm gonna do another retake on my opinion of black on black crime. Black on black crime is brutal. It's very severe in America. I mean, that's just pretty well known. It's established fact. Even if you, even if you subscribe racism to the higher percentage of black people being incarcerated, you still have a severe disproportionate amount of blacks committing crime. Okay, they're committed against other blacks. That still does not it still does not take away the justifiable reason to fear black people in many situations. I mean, how does that? We tell white people, well, we're killing ourselves, so you have no reason to fear us. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. Okay? If black people commit crimes toward and have black victims, then they're equally likely, at least equally likely, to have the capacity to commit crimes against white people. It's not stupid or out of line to think that way. Okay, white people they're very justified in fearing many black people, not all black people, because there are some black people that uphold the law and do what they're supposed to do. But the bottom line is, folks, black people commit a disproportionate amount of crime. And this notion that, Al Sharpton's and even Jesse's, although, I mean, yes, they bring up some points about racism, and that's fine. It still doesn't, dispute that fact. But, it seems to me that, they get this notion that white people still have no reason to fear black people. And I'm not saying there's a whole entire group, every single black person. I'm saying in many situations, they have no reason to have caution. Really, they have no reason to just that white people have this myth about black people being violent, but it's just a myth. Well, it's not necessarily just a myth. A lot of it's partially very true. I mean, yes, we understand. Yes, you can say that most black people do not commit crime. Most black people are law-abiding citizens, but from black people themselves, not from white people, but most black people themselves admit that 1 out of 4 black young males are incarcerated, may not commit murder, but are in some type of trouble. That's from black people themselves. Most black people, even Spike Lee, admit that black people commit a very severe, disproportionate amount of crime. The reasons why, that's debatable. But the fact of the matter is that they do. Cannot be disputed. Cannot be disputed. Blacks are more likely to rob. Blacks are more likely to rape. Blacks are more likely to murder. Whether it's themselves or not, that's still a fact. Now, let's get to my thesis. Do whites have a logical reason? Not just whites, Asians, and it's not just whites, because we always want to talk about whites as if whites are the only people that exist in America. Do Asians, do Jews, although many white racists don't consider Jews white, but Jews, do Indians, do all these people have a justified reason to have a certain type of prejudice toward blacks in many situations, or fear blacks? Yes. The answer is yes. That's something that anti-black, anti-racists don't want to hear. Many black proud people don't want to hear this, but that is the fact. Yes, they do. Because when you have communities, many communities, a vast majority of communities that have just crime rates off the roof, murders off the roof, drug dealings off the roof. I mean, to say that other groups should not take precaution in many situations is just to me, outrageous. Black on black crime exists, okay, and it's a brutal problem. If blacks commit crimes toward other blacks, they have, I would say, more capacity or have more motive to commit crimes toward whites. Think about it. If a white person, if a black criminal has equal opportunity to assault a white person and a black person, who are they going to choose? From blacks themselves, they're going to choose the white person. Simple fact. They're going to choose the white person. Yes, whites do contribute to that because they feel that the blacks are physically superior. They may have, because of their physical look, it may exaggerate their fear of black people. But the bottom line, the black criminal does not see a white person and a black person the same. They never did. A white person is an outsider. A white person is not part of his race. White person, even if he's part of the black community, the one white minority in the black community, he's still not black. He's still not black. So therefore, he would have preference of assaulting the white person given equal opportunity. And we can see statistics where black criminals have equal opportunity to assault white people, and that's who they prefer. It's not because they only have higher economic resources. That's part of it. That's part of it. So, do white people have a reason? So, do white people have reason to fear black people? Or some black people far more than white people? Yes. That's just a fact. That's not Uncle Tom. That's not being brainwashed. That's just looking at the facts for what they are. I'm sorry that some blacks want to feel pride and they want to overcome these negative images, and I do understand that to a point because many of these black people who promote this aren't committing crimes, and they're getting sick and tired of being associated with this image. But the brutal fact remains, and the sources come from the black community, that black on black crime exists far more and is far more prevalent, far more dominant than white on white crime. And yes, black on white and black on white crime. However, it is also logical to think that since black on black crime is that dominant, that if equal opportunity, which the statistics bear out, when there is equal opportunity to assault a black or a white person, they're going to assault a white person. That's not racist. That's just a fact. I want to hear from black people. I don't want to hear from white nationalists. I don't want to hear from white racists. Not even necessarily white racists. I don't want to hear from whites who share this view. I want to hear from blacks themselves that live in these communities, that have brutal crime, and believe that it's far more prevalent in their communities, mostly in their communities, than in white communities. How can we sit here, many black anti-racists sit here and say and make the blanket statement that white people should have no fear of black people in any situation? In any situation. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear from black people themselves. Have a nice day.